Once again, I'd like to remind everyone, if you haven't figured it out yet, the topic today is the stupidest things you've ever done. And I want to talk about another stupid thing that I've done, which is pre-order GTA 6. Okay, I got a fucking bone to pick, dude. I want to vent here real quick because I am a enthusiast of physical games. Okay, I believe that if you don't have a physical copy of a video game in your hands with a disc, you don't really own the game. And nowadays, even if you have a physical copy of a game, you don't necessarily own it because a lot of these discs don't actually have the game data on them because the game data is too big. The disc acts as like a trigger, like a license almost, to tell your console to download the game, which is fucked up. For years, we've been inching closer and closer to game ownership basically being non-existent because when you buy a game digitally, you don't own it. You are buying a license to play that game on the specific account you bought it on. And if you don't play it on that account, get fucked. You don't really own that game. It is a non-transferable license, right? And GTA 6, just the other day, a few days prior, by the time you're watching this last week, they announced their pre-order setup and the bonuses for it and what you get for pre-ordering each of the editions. And I'm not here to complain about what comes with the Ultimate Edition or the price of the game or anything like that, because that doesn't matter much to me. It's a bit of an issue. We'll talk a little about it later. But the real issue I have with Grand Theft Auto 6 is that on release, there is no physical disc edition of the game. And despite that, I still pre-ordered it for the full price. And I pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition for $100. Call me a scumbag. But, my real issue is that this is the first really major AAA release to have no physical disc. And I think this is going to cause a tidal wave of games going digital only, especially AAA games going digital only with no physical disc anymore. This effectively, in my eyes, marks the end of personal game ownership. My favorite thing about having physical games is if I play a game and I finish it, my homie doesn't have it and he wants to play it, I can just hand him the fucking disc. I can just give the game to him. It should be like, here, dude, go play it. That's how it should be. That's how it's been my whole childhood growing up. Only lately is that no longer a feature with all these digital games and all this, tied to account bullshit with licensing. And GTA 6 releasing with no disc is concerning, not because you get GTA 6 without a disc. I don't really give a fuck about that, but because this is going to enable every other company to do the same thing. People that make these kind of decisions in the gaming market, they're scared to do it first. Like, for example, PlayStation. Sony as a company kind of dabbled in getting rid of physical games by selling digital editions of their consoles. They sell PlayStations, and even the PS5 Pro comes with no disc drive. You have to buy it as an add-on. They've been toying with it for a while, but they've gotten a lot of hate for doing that. Whereas Xbox, on the other hand, they have physical and digital editions, but the disc drive is built into those consoles. It's not an add-on that you add later. If you buy the disc drive edition, it's built in. And they have a digital edition of the Series S, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't own an Xbox myself. I think the Series X has a disc no matter what. I might be wrong, but I think that has a disc drive no matter what. And I have a very bad feeling that because of the precedent that Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar are setting with no physical edition on launch, we might be getting a generation of consoles soon that straight up don't have disc drives at all, that don't take physical games whatsoever. We might be coming into a console generation where when you buy a physical copy of a game with a plastic case, you're going to open that case and the only thing that comes inside is a code to enter and redeem, basically eliminating used games as a whole. And I hate that. The only way that we can combat that is by not buying the games that practice, digital only releases. But the first major game of my recent memory to practice this, and I'm talking major as in like blockbuster release, it's going to make hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion, is Grand Theft Auto 6. And now all these other smaller game developers that want to cut corners and not release physical copies for their fans are going to follow in their footsteps and release digital-only things and say, well, Grand Theft Auto did it, so it's okay for us to do it. That's just the standard nowadays. Look, Rockstar, this big, great gaming company that is one of the most renowned in the world that releases genre-defining games every single generation, didn't have a physical disc, so why should we? And I hate that. Guys, I have hundreds of physical games. I am a physical game demon. I try to buy every game physical. unless I really can't, you know? Now, I mean, this has been creeping up for a long time. We have all these like early release bonuses for digital downloads of games. If you get a digital deluxe edition, you can play 3 days early, or the games release at 9 p.m. the day before release. Whereas if you want a physical release, you have to wait till midnight to go to GameStop and get it. It's fucked up. And I'm just venting about this because I know that there's nothing we can do about it deep down. I know it's inevitable. Physical gaming will be dead within the next decade. I say that almost certainly, but I'm still going to complain about it because my fucking God, do I love owning a physical copy of a game. And I hate that this shit is dying. I absolutely despise it. I don't like it whatsoever. So, you know, it is what it is. But either way, let's go back to listening to voicemails. The next voicemail we have is from someone who got fired from their job for sending an inappropriate link to a female coworker. Let's listen into this. I actually have a story of my own to share here.
I really fucked up.
Okay.
I texted an inappropriate link to a female coworker and was subsequently fired. I work at an animal shelter, so right now
I mean, let's pause here. Put yourself in the coworker's shoes. You're just like chilling out, hanging out, and your coworker just sends you like a Pornhub link out of the blue. Yo, I'm calling HR. And it's, yo, imagine if that shit's like a crazy link. It's like an orgy. It's like a 10-person orgy. I'm calling HR, dude. I don't want to hear that shit.
Basically doing a trade-off
it's fart
of
content,
my company
dude.
property
Some real
for
fuck
the
shit.
animal I adopted and was supposed to pick up that day. I feel really terrible, even though it was an accident, and I got to figure out how to get a job after this. Thank you.
Listen, I love this voicemail because it reminds me of an incident when I was in my junior year of high school where I was in an AP government class, the only AP class I ever took. AP, I don't know how I even got in. You had to apply, and like somehow they let me in. I think I was the DEI hire of that class. You know, I was like, hey, we got to let one retard in, dude. Pick this guy. But either way, I did a group project with this girl who like was kind of attractive, and you know, her and I would get along in class, and we added each other on Snapchat one day. I don't remember why, but I was kind of drunk one night, and I was at my dad's house sitting in my room, and it was like in the middle of us working on the project. It was actually, I think, right after we had finished up the project, and she had asked me, this is pretty embarrassing. I've told this a few times, but I'm always down to tell it again. I had told her I was going on a vacation because I was going out of town, like with some family kind of soon. And she had asked me how long, and I was really drunk, like really fucking hammered. And I don't think I was just drunk, but I was bare minimum very drunk. She asked me how long, and I like closed the message. I came back to it 30 minutes later, and the only thing left in the Snapchat message history was how long. And my drunk self, I thought she was asking how long my penis was. So I went into my bathroom and I pulled out my phone and I sent her a picture of my dick with like no hesitation, like not even a message beforehand, just sent her a picture of my meat. And like, I didn't realize, like even after sending the picture, I didn't comprehend that I was like not doing the right thing. I was just like, all right, bro, she asked how long it is, dude. All right, let's send a picture, you know? She replies to that image and she was actually very gracious about it. She was like, oh, like, yeah, thanks for that. Nice picture. But like, I have a boyfriend. That's not what I was asking. Listen, any woman could have really torn me up for this, called me a piece of shit, exposed me on the internet for this. Luckily, this girl was really nice about it. Thank God. And after she replied that, I replied to her and I was like, did you not just ask how long my penis was? Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, no. I was asking how long you're going on vacation. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm so sorry. And like, she was nice about it over Snapchat, but the next time we showed back up, because this was during winter break. So the next time we got back into class, it was about over a week later, if I remember correctly, she had asked the teacher to move seats. We sat right next to each other before winter break. And when we got back from winter break, all of a sudden she's on the fucking opposite end of the classroom and like my homie sitting next to me. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, like, what did she tell my teacher? Like, what does my teacher think of me? Like, hey, the guy sitting next to me is sending me unsolicited dick pics on Snapchat. It's like, hey, I thought she asked for it, bro. My bad. I was really like, my bad. I was very drunk. And that was the only time I ever did something like that, but I didn't get kicked out of the class or get in any real trouble for it. That girl just never really communicated with me again. You know, I don't remember if she blocked me on Snapchat or what, but I didn't try to hit her up again either way. After that, I was kind of morbidly embarrassed. So I just left it be. But, you know, that's my inappropriate content on accident story that I wanted to share with you guys.